Has this ever happened to you? You go see a new movie and it's awesome. It's the best. You love it and it makes a ton of money. And so a little while later, the studio announces there's going to be a sequel. Hallelujah. But when the sequel comes out, it sucks.
This is the worst!
This happens all the time. But why does it happen all the time? Well, that's what I'm going to explain in this video, with the help of this. What's up, everybody? I'm Irish Ronin. Welcome to the channel. Here we like to analyze everything from movies to video games to poetry and everything in between.
Nice. Very nice.
If this is your first time here, welcome. If it's not your first time here and you're wondering what the hell's going on, wait to the end of the video and I will explain. Now, as always, if you like the video, like and subscribe. All right, let's dive in. This is a zebra cake. It is a hexagon of fluffy white cake stuffed with whipped cream and coated in some sort of semi-rigid frosting something or other. And it is delicious. It also has zero nutritional value. Look, the point is, it's visually appealing, tastes great, and has a wonderful mouthfeel.
Please don't say mouthfeel.
All right, sorry about that. As delicious as it is, this little cake is not going to fill you up. And when you finish it, you're going to want more. Fortunately for you, the geniuses over at Little Debbie, or Hostess, or who makes zebra cakes? Fortunately for you, the geniuses over at Little Debbie have seen fit to package this beautiful little hexagon with a second zebra cake. But by the time you finish that second cake, you're kind of over zebra cakes. Now suppose the first cake is a movie, and the second cake is its sequel. This is the first and most common reason that sequels are not so good when compared with their predecessors. I call it the sameness problem. Take The Hangover, for example. When that movie came out, it was a huge success. Hysterical writing, interesting cast with a surprising and farcical plot. Great zebra cake. Plus, it made a lot of money. So the studio made a sequel. It's a movie with the same actors, same writers, same production team, similar crazy plotline, guaranteed success, right?
Wrong-o.
Audiences were bored and even put off because they felt like they'd already seen this movie. Part of what made the original Hangover so great was that it was unexpected and you saw all kinds of crazy stuff that you did not expect to see in the movie. But there they were. Well, in the second one, now we're expecting crazy stuff. So, not so surprising. Now, you might be thinking, okay, obviously no one wants the exact same thing over and over and over again, so let's give them something that's the same, but bigger and better. That's kind of the equivalent of taking your zebra cake and putting whipped cream all over it. Might work, but there's probably a limit. I call this the bigger is better problem, and it's perfectly summarized by this scene from The Office featuring Michael Scott.
You know what, here's the thing about Die Hard 4. Die Hard 1, the original, John McClane is just this normal guy, you know? He's just a normal New York City cop who gets his feet cut, he gets beat up, but he's an everyday guy. In Die Hard 4, he is jumping a motorcycle into a helicopter.
In the case of Die Hard, they lost sight of what made the movie enjoyable in the first place, which led to diminishing returns for audiences and studios alike.
Whoopsie daisy!
Now, to be fair, this strategy can work sometimes. The best modern example would have to be the Fast and the Furious franchise. The first movie is about street racers who are just trying to not get caught by the police. 8 movies later, they're launching cars into space to try and destroy satellites. It can work, but more often you get the Die Hard situation. But Ronin, I hear you say, if making the same movie again doesn't work, and making a bigger version of the same movie again also doesn't work, maybe the sequel should be something totally different from the original. You know what? That's a good point. I just finished this zebra cake. I want more zebra cake. How about an apple?
Pop, pop!
No, nobody wants this. This is what I call the subversion problem. In an effort to avoid the boredom and diminishing returns of giving audiences more of the same, some enterprising creators like to subvert expectations and take things in an entirely different direction. The clearest recent example of this is The Last Jedi. Now, I know using this movie as the example is going to split the audience, but that's kind of my point. In The Force Awakens, which was the original, well, not the original, but the first movie of the sequel trilogy, it's actually the chronologically 7th installment. The original was a new...
You are a nerd.
Point being, In The Force Awakens, they set up a whole bunch of questions that were very interesting that audiences had to wait until the sequel to get the answers to. Unfortunately, the powers that be decided that the answers to those questions either didn't matter or were terrible. For example, who are Rey's parents? Random nobodies. Who's this mysterious new bad guy? Doesn't matter now, he's dead. What are these Knights of Ren all about? They're not in this movie. Where did Luke go and why? He's a quitter now. Awesome. Now, on the one hand, some people did like The Last Jedi, but on the other hand, it created a rift in the largest fan base of the most profitable IP in the history of the world, which has been on a downward spiral ever since.
Not a great plan.
So if the same thing is bad, bigger is bad, and different is bad, why are there some good sequels? Well, the unsatisfying truth is, all of those strategies can work.
The hell you say?
Sometimes being the same can work. Sometimes being bigger and better can work. Sometimes something entirely different can work. It's a delicate balance between giving the audience what they came to see and giving them something new and different. There's not a simple recipe for how to do it right. But the real problem at the core of all of this is that just because a movie makes a bunch of money doesn't mean it needs a sequel.
How dare you!
Sometimes, one zebra cake is enough. Unfortunately, for all of us, the studios kind of insist that you try eating that second zebra cake. And that's why sequels are hard to make. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. If you really liked it, hit the subscribe button. I don't know if I pointed at the right spots there, but you can find them. If you didn't like it, thanks for sticking around, and maybe one of my other videos is more to your liking. For those of you that have seen my other videos and are wondering why this video isn't about video games, the answer is pretty simple. I kept having ideas for things other than video games. I had ideas for videos about music, about movies, about TV, about, dare I say, books.
No, God!
So I took some time off, realigned, and decided to relaunch the channel with a broader focus. Don't worry, there will still be videos about video games. So I hope you stick with me. And until next time, this is Irish Ronin reminding you of the most important rule in life: do, fail, learn, repeat. See ya.